It's like, you know, you're watching a movie. Half of the things that happened, I was watching them without being a participant, and I was shocked. Like, you guys, yo, whew, it was one hell of an experience. I can tell you that much. Hello, everybody. Muli Wanji, Muli Shani, Muli Uli, Muli Wuti, and everything else. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olipa. If you're a new subscriber here, thank you so much for subscribing. And for those of you who are returning subscribers, mwah, I love you so much. If this is the first time I'm coming on your screen, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so today, as you can tell from the title, I'm giving you a story time. I'm telling you about the one time that I dated a co-worker. And you know what, honestly, I needed some like champagne for this, and I'm lying, I needed vodka. I needed vodka to tell you this story. So I met this guy through work. Of course, we worked together in the same company, and he was one of those guys who was very quiet and very standoffish, if anything, like very standoffish. He was those guys who would not like, he is those guys who will not greet you. If you don't greet him, he won't like talk to you, he walk past you and stuff like that. But every single time I sparked a conversation with him, it was always such a good conversation, and I think that intrigued me so much. I would always be like, this guy is actually really interesting to talk to. He seems to be really funny, we have a good laugh and stuff like that, but why is he so standoffish? And unfortunately, because I'm a naturally inquisitive person, and maybe even my like journalistic background, I always want to know, I want to find out, I want to dig, I want to that's how we found ourselves. So one day, I remember we had like a workshop somewhere, and it was, of course, me, him, and other workmates, and we're having like really great conversation, laughing, joking about stuff. And I'm like, this guy is actually really cool. So I remember telling my friends to say, do you guys think like there's something more to him that we don't know, like he's got another life that we don't know about? Because when you speak to him, you can tell that there is more that he just doesn't show in the office. And maybe obviously it's because it's the office. A lot of people prefer to be, you know, reserved, conservative, and just keep their personal life separate from their work life and stuff like that. And I always felt like he had that vibe. And my colleagues are like, yeah, you know, you're right and stuff like that. So randomly, I don't even know where the hell this idea came from, but very randomly, I asked him like, are you dating somebody? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not dating. And then he's like, why do you ask? Did you want to set me up? Like, and funny enough is he fell right into the trap. Because like, what, do you want to set me up? And I'm like, yeah, actually I do. And he's like, oh, okay. With who? I'm like, with myself. Like, I would like to go on a date with you, right? And then he was like, you could tell he was like, he was visibly shocked. You could tell from his face, like, oh, okay. Like, you know, he was really not expecting that. So long story short, we actually ended up hanging out. So he called me over to go to his place. And funny enough, in my mind, I thought it was like, let's meet at my house and then we go somewhere else to like we are going on a date. Like, that is what I thought. But clearly this person had no plans of that nature and no intentions of that sort. So when I got to his place, and I was all dressed up, you guys, in my cute little dress with like booties and stuff, I was looking so cute. So I went to his house, and I think he had bought like food and drinks and stuff, and we started getting to talk and whatnot. So let me be honest, I didn't hate the fact that we didn't actually go anywhere. I kind of liked that we could sit down and just chat and really talk and get into like, it was that curiosity I had about him was being answered in that moment, because I really got to ask him all sorts of questions. I just really wanted to know about him. So that worked out great, because then at the end of the day, I feel like my curiosity was satisfied to an extent, right? And so after that talk, I felt like that was the moment of me being like, I kind of like this person. Like, I like this person. I ended up liking who he is, his values, the things he likes to do, the things he's interested in. A lot is very different from me, but it's the way he was so confident about it, the way he spoke about, you know, women's rights, the way he spoke. You know me, I'm a sucker for those kinds of things. Like, if you want to get to me, like, tell me about how, you know, tell me about women's suffrage, tell me about emancipation. You've got me. So that really excited me. And Also, one thing that was like, whoa, is he did not even try to touch me inappropriate, like not at all. It was so respectful. It was so, and of course, you know me. I mean, I don't know, maybe most women, when we go to a guy's place who we don't know, we are probably doing this for the first time, there's a lot of guard that we go with because we have no idea what's going to happen. And let's not forget, it was just the two of us. So anything could have happened in that moment. So I was there with my guard up. I was looking around for any object I can use to stab his fucking neck if he did anything crazy, okay? So he was so respectful. I ended up feeling so comfortable towards the end of the night. He did not touch me in any way. He did not even kiss me. Like, he was so, so respectful. I remember so clearly this moment because like we're seated next to each other on a sofa and he touched my knee. Like, you know when you're laughing and then you go, oh, then he goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, and I was like, oh wow, he's a gentleman. Like, I liked that. But he was a really very bad communicator, like over the phone. Oh my goodness, he was so poor at communicating over the phone. Once in a while, he would call and we would have like long conversations, like in-person conversations. But when it came to like texting and just the everyday, what's up, how you doing kind of thing was pathetic. And I remember one time actually, and you see, here's the thing. At this point in time, I do kind of like this guy, but he doesn't owe me a text. He doesn't owe me nothing, right? So at one time I actually asked him like, bro, like what's up with you? What's up with your texting? And he's like, oh no, I'm really poor at this texting thing. I usually prefer to call and stuff like that, but I'll make some effort, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then as time went by the way, this happened really fast. I think all this happened in the span of like 2 to 3 months. Yeah, like 2 to 3 months. So as time goes by, and clearly, I think people even in the office or just in our, because we did have a lot of social gatherings in our office, people started to notice that we were a little bit friendlier than just like co-workers. And because that came out, I read into this issue. So this gentleman had a relationship with another colleague of ours. And I didn't know about this, obviously, until it came to light. So when it came to light, obviously now people are like, oh, by the way, just in case you don't know, this guy and this girl, this and this had happened. So I asked him, because that's the type of girl I am. I confront him about like, oh, I heard that you and her, you know, something had been popping. What's going on? He said to me, oh yes, actually her and I had a thing. We're not in a relationship, but we had a thing. It was an on and off kind of thing. And this was like 2 years back. We don't have anything between us. We've both moved on. I think if anyone knows me, and I've talked about this in previous videos before, I've talked about it in the situationship video. I've talked about it in so many videos, but I'm not a girl who, I don't date people to waste time with them. I am a person who's dating you because there is something I want from you. There is something I know I can give you. There is somewhere we're going. So I needed to establish what is it that is happening here. Like, what's going on? Are we dating to be in a relationship? Are we dating for fun? Are we dating to have a thing? What is it that's going on? And I brought it up and we had the conversation about it. And obviously, like all men will say, no, I actually really like you and I hope that we can become something more. I hope this can go further, blah, 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 blah. That was his song and dance. And then that his ex was not having it. She was pissed about it, okay? And I don't know if it was from a point of, because I never had like that personal relationship with her. We really had a strictly work relationship with her. And there was a level of respect there. I don't know if that's the reason why she never actually ever confronted me or asked me anything about it. She never really did. She never said like nasty things about him to me directly. She would say it around people so that they could tell me, but she never told it to me directly. And she never complained about the whole thing to me ever. But like twice, if not 3 times, when we were in public settings, like I said before, we used to hang out a lot as like an office and social gatherings and things like that. And about 2 or 3 times, the 2 of them ended up in huge fights, like physical fights, you guys, like blown up physical fights, bottles breaking, people squeezing each other's necks. Huh? It was the most shocking experience of my life. Neither of the two, in that moment, neither of the two even involve me in their like fight or their conversation. They don't confront me, they don't speak to me. They fight between themselves, but it's in a whole group of people and everybody knows what's going on. Like everyone knows that they're fighting because I apparently seem to be like the middle person. That, you know how guys will always come back and turn around and tell you all sorts of things about the crazy ex. Yeah. There's something you did to make her crazy. So I asked him to say, okay, so if she's that crazy and whatnot, why didn't you step up, to, like speak up to her in that moment? Because she was really saying all sorts of things, and he would not even, what's the word? He would not confront the truth or the lie that she was telling. Because now later on, he starts to tell me, oh no, everything she was talking about is a lie. I haven't been with her since 20 whatever. It's been 2 years since we stopped hanging out. We never even dated. But when she was saying it in front of everybody, hey, our relationship, da 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 da, and he did not refuse. I'm like, this guy. And then this whole drama happens again. So another incident where we are at a social gathering and the two of them end up fighting again. Like it just becomes a blown up thing. Bottles are broken, shirts are torn and stuff like that. And you see, here's the thing. At that point in time, I had already met somebody else. So at that point in time, I had already met somebody else, and I'm getting to know the other person and actually really getting to like this person. So now this guy, the work guy, is sort of irritating me. Like him and his antics and all the childishness and all the foolery is now getting to irritate me. You guys, this story is so messy. This man was so messy. I think he didn't realize the type of women he was dealing with. He was really dealing with different level type of women. He was dealing with me, very mature. I'm not going to involve myself in these shenanigans, fighting for a guy, fighting for... No, I'm so sorry. I cannot do that. I'm very, very sorry, but I will not. My colleague, who was my close friend, ends up having a conversation with another colleague of ours who was his close friend, a guy. And that guy ends up telling my colleague that in actual sense, this guy, the work guy, stopped like talking to me and whatnot because he felt like I was moving too fast. Like I became too girlfriendish before I was even a girlfriend. Like, and I was in shock. I was like, what? I'm moving too fast as in what? As in who? As in where? I don't play those kinds of games. When she told me that, you best believe I put up to his house, drove all the way there, put up to his house, hooted until he opened the door. And I was like, what the hell is up with you? What's up with you? Like the gangster in me was trying so hard not to come out. The gangster in me was... it was here. But of course, I did not do that. Do not do that, ladies and gentlemen. Violence is never the answer, okay? He actually asked me to leave his house, by the way. That was the moment of like, yeah, no, I'm never. And I think I never ever went back to his house after that. Any party of any sort that was at his house, I never, ever, ever went there. I would not attend. I would not be present. And it's because I was like, you know what? This is your place. I'm going to give you that respect because you have asked me to leave, but you should know that you cannot treat me like that. I'm not one of those girls who you can treat like that. And I made it very, very clear to him. So going forward, we were able to maintain a very cordial work relationship. We could speak at work over work-related matters, but we never had a friendship. And shortly after that, I ended up finding the love of my life, and I was in a great relationship, which everybody was like, oh my God, she's in this relationship, she's in love, she's that. And then now he wanted to try and start making like a friendship with me, calling me, wanted to talk to me for hours every week. And I'm like, no. Hold on. You need to relax. You had your turn and you threw it away. So forget, okay? Be very careful with the people you are dating. There are a lot of red flags that came up in this situation, which had nothing to do with even the fact that I worked with him. I think even if he were any other guy, those would still have been red flags. His lack of communication, his lack of telling me a proper blueprint of what we are doing in the relationship. Like, you know, every time you ask, not relationship, rather, in the dating, every time you ask, like, what exactly is this? And then someone gives you these weird answers like, oh, I like you, I just want to see. No, he doesn't want to see anything. That is a red ass flag. The fact that he had girls fighting with him over him one day, that like a man who still wants drama at our age, you want drama? No, I felt like those were all red flags. So I think I would say the moral of the story is be very observant and make sure to see the red flags. When you see them, you guys. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to share this story with you, which I have been sitting on for over a year. I hope you enjoy it, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.